G'day folks, welcome to another installment of Conversations with AI. Today we will be exploring the concept of the Trojan horse and how it relates to artificial intelligence in current day setting. So we want to explore the Trojan horse myth a little bit and to see if there have been any instances in time, because the Trojan horse story is ultimately a mythological story. We want to see if there have been any instances in time where this ploy or this plot, this type of scheme has been used to gain an advantage, a military advantage over unsuspecting troops or unsuspecting military or unsuspecting group of people. So to get an idea of the story, if you haven't heard it before, the Trojan horse story is a famous legend from the Trojan War where the Greeks used a giant wooden horse to trick and conquer the city of Troy. So what was the plan? How did it work? The long war, after fighting for 10 years without breaking Troy's thick walls, the Greek army pretended to give up. The wooden horse, built by carpenter Epeius under Odysseus' direction, a huge hollow horse was left outside the city. The ruse. The main Greek fleet hid nearby at the island of Tenedos, leaving a single man named Sineon to lie to the Trojans that the horse was an offering from the goddess Athena. The fall of the city. Entering Troy, despite warnings from some locals, the joyful Trojans dragged the massive structure inside their city gates, and at night, when the city was asleep, the Greek soldiers crept out of a trapdoor, opened the gates for their returned army, and leveled Troy to the ground. So we're looking here now at whether or not there are any situations throughout history where this ploy has been used to infiltrate city walls, for example, and bring down an unsuspecting army or an unsuspecting population. Sorry. So we have the question here. Are there any analogues or times in history where a group were too trusting, complacent, and were conquered in a similar way? AI's response is yes. While the Trojan horse itself is a myth, history is filled with real instances where military complacency, misplaced trust, or deceptive ruses led to a group's total downfall. And here we can see there are some instances listed. The real-life Trojan horses, deceptive gifts and ruses. So we've got the taking of Joppa. This is in ancient Egypt. The trap, the Egyptian general named Dehuti pretended to surrender to the rebellious city of Joppa. As a peace offering, he sent 200 large baskets carried by servants into the city. Hidden inside were 200 elite Egyptian soldiers. Once inside the city walls, the soldiers broke out, overpowered the guards, opened the city gates, and took the city of Joppa. What about this one? The snowball fight trick at Pamplona, 1808. French soldiers stationed outside the walls pretended to play or playfully start a massive snowball fight with each other. As a result, the Spanish guards found it amusing and dropped their guard to watch. The French soldiers then drew hidden weapons, rushed the gate, and took the fortress without firing a single bullet. The wedding procession of Poon. This one here, we see a bunch of military men pretending to be part of a mock wedding procession. They were acting as joyful guests as part of this procession. At midnight, the guests pulled out swords, launched a surprise attack, and completely conquered the unsuspecting military force. We have many instances where the Trojan horse story, theme, plot was used to conquer an unsuspecting, trusting, complacent public. Now, in keeping with our theme here of artificial intelligence, you may have heard artificial intelligence being described as a Trojan horse. So I figure, who else better to ask than the artificial intelligence itself? So my question here is, could AI be viewed as a Trojan horse, given that it is set to destroy the livelihoods of millions of people? I was kind of hoping that AI would just straight up just intervene here and just say, hey, no, that's not true. Or we're not doing that. We're not going to displace or destroy the livelihoods of millions of people. That's not on. But instead, it didn't deny it. It doesn't deny it. It's sort of admitting it to it here by saying the comparison of artificial intelligence to a Trojan horse is an increasingly prominent framework used by economists, tech ethicists, and policymakers to describe how a highly attractive, seemingly beneficial gift can introduce hidden catastrophic risks to society. Doesn't sound great. Why the analogy fits, the attractive gift with hidden costs. The Trojan horse analogy is highly accurate when looking at how AI has been adopted globally. The allure, the gift. AI enters businesses and homes as an undeniable benefit. It promises to automate boring tasks, draft emails in seconds, cure diseases, write code instantly, and maximize corporate profits. The infiltration. Society opens its gates willingly, albeit apathetically or albeit indifferently, which is kind of what most people's attitudes towards AI is. It's being forced down our throats, and we're too kind of unsuspecting to actually worry about it or even care. Companies rush to integrate AI into their workforce or into their workflows to avoid being left behind by competitors. And consumers eagerly adopt it for convenience, the activation, the surprise attack. Once fully integrated into the core infrastructure of society, the soldiers inside, quote unquote, emerge. In this case, the hidden forces are mass structural unemployment, the erasure of entry-level career paths, and the deep devaluation of human cognitive labor. The economic impact, dismantling livelihoods. Unlike previous industrial revolutions that primarily replaced physical labor with machines, AI targets knowledge workers, creative professionals, and administrative staff. Ooh. So if you are an individual within those industries, I feel really bad for you. It's coming for your job. It's going to take your job. The same way the Trojans hid inside a horse to open the city gates to let the armies in. The economic displacement mirrors a siege from within in several distinct ways. White-collar displacement. Sectors like legal research, financial analysis, software engineering, copywriting, customer service, and graphic design face unprecedented automation. When it says unprecedented automation, we're talking about unprecedented sackings. We're talking about unprecedented dismantling of livelihoods. And God help you, because there are no industries for you to go into, apart from hospitality, the care economy, and construction. I hope you like one of those three. This effectively hollows out the middle class. The junior worker trap, by automating entry-level tasks like drafting basic documents or debugging simple code, AI risks destroying the traditional pipeline where young professionals learn their trade. Without junior roles, the path to becoming an expert disappears. Wealth concentration. If a company can replace 1,000 workers with an AI system, the wealth generated by that productivity no longer goes to 1,000 households via wages. Instead, it gets concentrated strictly at the top among tech platform owners and corporate shareholders, massively accelerating economic inequality. The alternative view. A tool for transformation, not destruction. Finally some balance. Finally some contrast. While the Trojan horse viewpoint highlights the genuine dangers of corporate greed and rapid displacement, many economists and historians argue that viewing AI strictly as a destructive trap misses the broader historical pattern of technology. Well, let's have a little look here at this theory, the creative destruction. Coined by economist Joseph Schumpeter, creative destruction describes how old industries must die for more advanced, productive ones to be born. So if you're in any of those industries that we've just listed, I'm so sorry, but your industry, according to these people, must die. According to this theory, it must die. When automobiles arrived, for example, they destroyed the livelihoods of blacksmiths, stable hands, and carriage makers. So too bad if you worked in those industries. However, the automobile industry ultimately created millions of entirely newer, higher-paying jobs in manufacturing, infrastructure, logistics, and tourism that no one in 1900 could have predicted. The problem with this, of course, is that artificial intelligence is going to basically remove all of these existing pillars from within the economy and replace them with just three, as I've mentioned: construction, the care economy, and hospitality. So it's not adding any new pillars like it's mentioning here. It's just taking them away. Augmentation versus replacement. Many experts argue that AI will act as a co-pilot rather than a replacement. So now you get to fly with artificial intelligence. How wonderful. Instead of one AI replacing 10 lawyers, one lawyer using AI will be able to do the work of 10 traditional lawyers. The danger is not necessarily the total elimination of work, but a brutal, rapid skills gap where workers who do not adapt are left behind by those who do. So adapt or die. Clean your room or you won't get any ice cream. Like, what a ridiculous threat. And that's all it is. This is just propaganda designed to fearmonger people into adapting or dying, when really what we should be doing is pushing back. Now, the real danger it mentions here is the speed of the siege. The most critical difference between AI and historical technological shifts, like the steam engine or electricity, is speed. Past shifts took generations to fully manifest, allowing the workforce time to naturally retire, retrain, and adapt. AI is being deployed globally at a near instantaneous digital scale. The true Trojan danger may not be the technology itself, but the fact that society's social safety nets, educational systems, and tax structures are completely unprepared to adapt to the blistering pace of the transition. So it's not looking great. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again soon.